We're rolling. 1, 2, 3. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Shit News. Here's your host, Zembutu Jaja. Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing? I am your host, Zembutu Jaja. Thank you for tuning in to Real Shit News. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get into the story for today, and it's a very sad story, I need to ask you a question. Where are your children? Where are your children? What are your children doing? What are your children doing? Ladies and gentlemen, do you know what your children are doing? The reason why I asked you this is because I see a lot of troubled children. They're troubled children, ladies and gentlemen. They're troubled because their parents aren't loving them and showing them the way. Are you loving your children today? Ladies and gentlemen, you need to love your children today, every day. Your children need you more today than any time. The world is changing drastically, and your children need you. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to talk about what's going on in children's lives. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, the children are playing video games, very bad video games of murder, killing, death, all day, every day. All day, every day. Their minds are taking in this killing and the shooting and this death and these video games, and it's just taking over them. Their minds. Their little minds. They go out, they think that killing is normal. Like I said, they're not getting it, that it's a video game, but they taking it in as something more than a video game. Because their minds it's not fully developed. Their minds aren't fully developed. Cyberbullying. Children on the internet all day, every day. All day, every day. Talking to who knows who. Do you know who your children are talking to on the internet? Do you know? Do you know? I bet you don't know. I bet you don't know. I bet you don't know who your children are talking to on the internet. Do you know where your children are at? Do you know what your children are doing? Do you know who your children are talking to? I bet you don't know. It's 2023. We need to do better for our children. There's no reason for our children to be scared to go to school. There's no reason for our children to be scared to go to the park. There's no reason for our children to be scared to walk down the street. There's no reason. There's no reason. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get to the story. 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 Let's do this. Let's get into the story. Let's get into it. Let's get to it. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a story come out of Virginia. Virginia teacher, police say, was shot by 6-year-old students described as dedicated and hardworking. Richmond, Virginia. The Virginia teacher, who authorities say was shot by a 6-year-old student, is known as a hardworking educator who's devoted to her students and enthusiastic about the profession that runs in her family, according to fellow teachers and city officials. John Ely III, a former member of the Newport News School Board, identified the first grade teacher as Abby Zwerner, 25. Young lady. Young. Zwerner was shot Friday at Richneck Elementary School, authorities said. Shortly after the shooting, police said Zwerner had life-threatening injuries. but was listed in stable condition. According to a statement issued Saturday by George Parker III, the Newport News School's superintendent. All right. Ely and other city officials met with teachers and the principal at the school Friday and later went to the hospital where they met with members of Werner's family, including several aunts who also are teachers. The family was all educators and said she was excited about doing the job, said Ely, who was recently elected to the Newport News City Council. Okay. The custodians of the teacher spoke about how she's a good teammate. She's a team player. She loves her children. She's just an all-around good teacher. Okay. Sadie Hurst said her granddaughter 8 is still rattled by the shooting. She was in Werner's class last year and told her grandmother she is a great teacher. I just hate that this happened. Hurst told Virginian Pilot, but life as we know, it may not ever be the same. I don't know. At a rally Sunday of supporters of measures to curb gun violence, LaWanda Semple Rusk, a grandparent of 2 children at the school, told CBS Norfolk, Virginia affiliate WTKR-TV she was at the school the day of the shooting and jumped into action when Werner was shot. She said, I'm shot. I'm shot. Call 911, said Rusk. Rusk said, we only thought it was somewhere on her hand, but after looking further, she passed out on the floor. And then after looking further, it was another gunshot wound. Russ said while she didn't perform CPR, she did apply pressure to Werner's wounds. This all happened in the school office before first responders were able to get to Werner. I didn't know what to do. I'm not a medic. I didn't know what to do. Just instinct, said Rusk. Instinct, said Rusk. Werner attended James Madison University, graduating in 2019 with a bachelor's degree in interdisciplinary liberal studies and minors in elementary education and music. She graduated from JMU's College of Education in 2020 with a master's degree in education. JMU President Jonathan Alger offered a message of support for Werner, her family, friends, and fellow teachers, students, and their families. JMU is prepared to support those impacted by this incident now and in the weeks to come, Alger tweeted Saturday. Police Chief Steve Drew said the boy shot and wounded the teacher with a handgun in a first-grade classroom. He was later taken into police custody. Drew said the shooting was not accidental and was part of an altercation. No students were injured. Police have declined to describe what led to the altercation or any other details about what happened in the classroom. Citing the ongoing investigation, they have also declined to say how the boy got access to the gun or who owns the weapon. One parent of a child in the school reacted angrily when interviewed by WTKR, saying, "You've got a beautiful country. You've got beautiful people. But what's the problem? Guns. How does a 7-year-old have a gun? That's what angers me. I'm only here because my husband's in the military. Otherwise, I would not have chosen to come to this country." Wow. 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 That's powerful. That's powerful. She said she's the only here in this country because her husband is in the military. That's the only reason she's here. She said this country is a beautiful place. Beautiful place, beautiful people, but the problem here is guns. Let me tell you something. Guns can only be used by people. Guns cannot shoot themselves. It's the people that are having these guns. That's the problem. The guns aren't the problem. The problem is the people that have the guns. They don't know what to do with the guns. And I was telling you before, these children do not know the difference between real and fake. They minds. They don't know the difference between real and fake. They don't know. They don't know. The video games they play, they take it in and they just think that's the way the world works. You shoot, you kill. When something doesn't go the way you want it to, that's how they do. That's what they do. The children don't know no better. It's your job as a parent to raise, to love your children, to protect your children, to keep them from violence, to not show them violence. But you go and you buy them violence. You buy them violent video games. You buy them killing video games. You buy them war video games. You buy them all kind of blood, guts, murder video games. And they play them all day long. And what do you think it does to their mind? What do you think it does to their mind? 6-year-old boy shoots a 25-year-old elementary school teacher. There's a problem. There's a problem, ladies and gentlemen. How are children getting a hold of guns? There's no reason that a 6-year-old boy should have a gun in a school building and shoot his teacher. There's no reason for it. Parents need to start being prosecuted and charged for their actions of their children. Their children are not the ones that need to be in trouble. The parents need to start getting in trouble for this. They are the reason why these children are going to school and shooting up schools. The parents. These children don't know no better. Their mind, like I said, their minds aren't fully developed. But you as an adult, you as a parent, your mind should be developed enough. You had children, your mind should be developed enough to raise your children, protect your children, and if you can't do it, that's on you. That's on you. I feel sorry for the 6-year-old boy that went to the school and did this. I feel sorry for him. He was looking for love and attention, and he probably didn't get it from his parents. I don't know what happened in the school. I don't know what the teachers did to him. I don't know. But I know that the mind of a child is not developed. They don't know no better. They don't. Only thing a child wants from his parents is love and attention. And if they don't get it, they'll find it from anywhere else. They'll find it from anywhere else. It doesn't matter where they find it. They'll find it from somewhere else. They'll find love in all the wrong places if they don't get it from their parents. Do you know where your children are at? Do you know what your children are doing? Do you know who your children are talking to? Do you know? It's 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to do better. We turn on the TV and we see this over and over and over and over and over again. School shootings. School shootings by children. And they want to charge these children as adults when the parents need to be charged. There's no reason we're throwing away young lives. These are babies. What are you going to do different this year? Ladies and gentlemen, what are you going to do different this year for your children? When are you going to start putting the guns away, locking the guns, locking them? Put them away. This 6-year-old boy didn't buy this gun. It's not his gun. He didn't buy this gun. What are you going to do different, ladies and gentlemen, for your children? The 6-year-old boy went to the school, shot his teacher over an altercation. And she might not make it. I pray that she makes it. She was a good teacher. They said she was a good teacher. Devoted to her children. Loved her job. 25 years old. Still young. She was young. She may never probably want to teach again after this. She may never want to teach again. These children, they probably don't want to go to school again. They probably don't want to go to school ever again. But because of some parents of a 6-year-old boy, you have now ruined the enjoyment of going to school. You have ruined the enjoyment of these other kids to go to school. This elementary school. Because of the 6-year-old boy's parents, you have now ruined the enjoyment for other students to go to the school. You've ruined the enjoyment for other teachers at the school. You've ruined the enjoyment for this teacher that's fighting for her life. So who gets charged for this? You treat the 6-year-old boy as an adult? Do you throw his future away? What do you do? If this teacher does not make it, then what happens? You gonna treat this 6-year-old boy as a grown-up and throw him away? And the parents get to walk away? Like, we did the best we could? No. The parents need to be charged, prosecuted. You need to do time. You need to do time. Parents need to do time. These crimes by these children, no, they don't need to do life. The parents need to do life. If you love them, pay attention to them, know what they're doing, know what they're at, know what they're talking to, know what games they're playing. You can keep these people happening and lock your guns away. Know where your guns are at, ladies and gentlemen, in your house. Your guns, your weapons, whatever it is you got in your house, know where it's at. Make sure it's locked up. But let me tell you something. If you love your children, give your children attention, you don't have to worry about these things. Keep your children away from violent video games. Keep your children off the internet. There's better things to do other than your children being on the internet all day, playing video games, violent video games all day. Spend time with your children. Spend time with them. The world is changing. I pray for the 6-year-old boy. I pray for his family. I pray for Abby's Werner. Hope that she makes it through. I pray for her family. I pray for the children. I pray for the teachers. I pray for this nation. We must do better, ladies and gentlemen. It's 2023. We must do better. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Zimbutu Jaja. This is Real Shit News. Do me a favor, please. Do me a favor. Like, share, subscribe. And until next time, I'm Zimbutu Jaja, and this is Real Shit News.